Bro, if that's not like the stars aligning right there, you know what I mean? Like,
I
I
mean, we'll
don't know,
see.
like,
We'll see what happens because they say things like that, and then a decade passes, and it's like it never happened. But
but
um,
look, I'm a firm believer you gotta speak things into existence. And I told you way back when we did our first podcast together, because I think this is my third time being on your show, that just keep grinding and you're gonna get there. What happened, Danny? You freaking got there. Just keep speaking it into existence. It'll happen.
yeah,
It'll happen.
so I before I was gonna start as like a production assistant and try to work my way up on the creative side,
Mhm.
But now I've decided like I'd rather like I'm comfortable on camera and doing
Yeah.
skits and stuff like that. I think I do want to try doing like the acting side of it. So we'll see. But the joke is that I'm gonna get eaten by a Demogorgon in the next season of Stranger Things. We're supposed to film it out here, but
Dude, if you
I
can get in on that set, tell them 'em I'm looking for a job. I'm willing to be the fat guy that dies first.
Stony Stark was like, dude, you don't need to say anything. That like you just got to convince them to let you be in the background eating Doritos. Like that's all you need. And I'm like,
The
that's
the
true.
OG bag of Doritos, the, like,
Yeah, the '80s.
1980s or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Oh, that'd be awesome.
so. But yeah, there's a guy that I talked to. He's also a streamer. Um, and he works on sets out in LA. And so he's like, dude, you gotta like talk to some talent agents. So like, there's a
Mhm.
talent agency that he gave me the information for. So, but the thing is
Yeah,
like, I don't Danny Dorito's obviously not my real name. My last name is not Dorito. So,
right.
uh, I'm like, I don't want my picture on a website, like looking for acting gigs. So I'm like, it's
Right.
gonna be like, hey, so I have this many like people that are like watching my stuff. Like, is there any way I can like look for cameos or something? Like, I don't know how it works, but
Yeah.
we'll see. That's my goal this year is to start getting into that stuff if I can.
W Well, full disclosure, my legal name is not Chunky Hustle, so
I thought it was, but
yeah, well, my it's kind of been a thing where people have been finding out my real name, and they've kind of been throwing it out there, and I've just been deleting the comments and stuff. It's not a thing that I don't want people to know my actual name. It's a thing of, like I said earlier, I do work a 9 to 5, so I try to keep my
yeah,
daytime job separate from all of this, you know what I mean? I try to draw
yeah,
that line right there, and part of that is putting on the whole, and it's not really a persona, like, what you see with me on camera and stuff, that's just actually me, it's just the whole identity is a separate thing, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean, I
So
know that obviously someday, like it's inevitable, it's gonna come out.
mhm.
That's just how it is with this
Yeah, yeah, it
industry.
is.
But
Especially if, like you're saying, if you wanna take it to that level of becoming, like, an actor or something, it's gonna
yeah,
have to at that point, you know what
yeah,
I
I know
mean?
that. I want to put it off as long as I can, and like everybody
Mhm,
wants to know Little Man's name. And I'm like,
mhm.
I'm putting that off until he can at least say like stranger danger, like he understands that concept. So
Right, well, yeah, and he's a little kid,
yeah,
man, and there's a and it's weird because there's some strange people on the internet that just have no sense of boundaries, like, there's certain lines and information that you don't need to cross and you don't need to know. Like, I
yeah.
had somebody ask me like, "Oh, where's Mrs. Hustle's salon at?" And it's like, you
Don't worry
don't
about
need
it.
to
Yeah,
know that, like, you don't need to know where my wife works, you don't need to know
yeah,
anything about her, you know, just what I tell you is what you get. And
yeah.
it's
It's
people and it's the same thing with, like, the house. People are like, "Oh, we know where your address is now." It's like, no, you know 4 numbers. That's what you know,
yeah. No, I
you
mean,
know?
like I'm sure I talked about it before. I had way back when the VOD was deleted right away and everything. But I had somebody asking like, how do you find these? Now they could just use code Danny D, obviously, but they're like, where do I get these discount codes for G Fuel? And I was like, oh, I just use Honey. What's Honey? And so like, I clicked the thing and it logged me in, and I'm
Oh.
explaining, and up in the corner, there's my mailing address and everything. So for like
Oh,
30
yeah,
seconds, obviously we're not there anymore and everything, so it's like I don't even care anymore.
yeah.
But right away, the way that I noticed that it was there was the auto mod started going crazy, and there was somebody spamming, "I got your address, coming to rape your girlfriend," like a bunch of
Wow,
times. So like I
wow.
look
See,
over and I'm like,
honestly, why do
"Oh,
people
dude."
go to that level? Like, where do you have to be messed up in the head to even
Somebody
say anything
never saw him
positive?
before. They were obviously like just lurking and saw an
Mhm,
opportunity to like
mhm,
say something messed up. So,
yeah. Well,
but
and and I'm not gonna go into details or anything, but I did respond to comments, a comment on the whole address thing, and I pretty much said like, like I told you, I'm more than welcome you to come knock on my door unannounced or uninvited. And if you think I'm not fully capable of protecting what's mine
Mhm.
and those that I love, then you're crazy anyway.
Yeah, no,
So, and
my
that's what I left it at. You know what I mean? Like,
my chat was like, "What's going on?" Because I just stopped everything and I was like, "Look, man, you know who you are. If you come over here, I'm shooting your dick off." I was like, and everybody's just like, "Whoa, Danny, what happened? Who are you talking to?"
Danny, what happened?
And I'm just like, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah, that's I mean, and that's what I left it at, man. Like, if you
Yeah.
don't think I'm fully capable of protecting those that I love and what's mine, then you're a fool. So,
No, I always remind people, I'm like, the last thing I did in the military was qualify for sniper school. So
I'll see you coming, buddy.
yeah.